clashes have erupted between the police and protesters in Muzaffarabad in PoK. The Joint Awami Action Committee had announced a complete lockdown in PoK-occupied Kashmir to protest against human rights violations by the Pakistani forces as well as the establishment. Thousands of civilians in PoK hit the streets under the banner of Awami Action Committee, which is basically a grassroots movement that has united people across ethnic, tribal and class lines in PoK. The unrest in PoK is not an isolated incident. It is symptomatic of a much deeper, deadlier crisis brewing inside Pakistan. Just days ago, the world watched in horror as the Pakistani Air Force bombed its own people in Tirah Valley in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, massacring more than 30 civilians, including women and young children, in a midnight strike. The Pakistani government has called it an anti-terror operation, and now, from Khyber to Muzaffarabad, from Gilgit to Mirpur, the anger is exploding onto the streets. My colleague Sahil joins us for more on this. Sahil, what led to this outburst?
Well, their Joint Awami Action Committee that's basically fighting for basic rights in the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. And now this Joint Awami Action Committee had in fact announced a complete lockdown starting from today. There were basically, Pakistan PM had also sent his ministers for talks, but those talks failed. And today morning, as expected, full of PoK basically shut, and there were basically protests that were planned by the Joint Awami Action Committee. And in Muzaffarabad, near Neelam Bridge, police has directly fired upon these protesters. As of now, we are getting reports that at least 5 civilians are critically injured and they have been shifted to hospital. In Rawalakot area, there are again protests between, and clashes between civilians and Pakistan and, in fact, PoK police. At least there are also civilians who have suffered injuries and police personnel who had basically rushed from Islamabad to PoK. 2 of them have been captured by civilians. So these, in fact, clashes and this sort of protests were going on from last 1 month. Joint Awami Action Committee, which is the leading organization in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, is demanding, in fact, basic facilities. At least they have put forward 38 demands before the government in PoK and Pakistan. And sensing trouble, Pakistan had rushed 2,000 federal police corps to the region. But still then protests are taking place. And now the situation has led to the, in fact, a point where police is directly firing on civilians in the area.
Right. We can also see a man in the images that are playing out right now who's holding some sort of bullet shells in his hand. And now Major General retired A.K. Sewach is joining us for more on this. So what do you make of this rising unrest in Pakistan?
You know, as far as PoK is concerned, this was bound to happen. In fact, it is happening for last 2 years. The people are on the street. There is a chakka jam and shutter down, and people are demanding that they must become a part of India. Because what they are seeing it through the social media and all, the way that Indian Jammu and Kashmir has progressed tremendously. But the one which is illegally occupied by Pakistan, there is no pay and pension for last about 1.5 years. The water, which is main source of their livelihood, that the Neelam River, is turned toward, instead of PoK, turned toward Punjab. Mangala Dam, where the electricity is produced, first it goes to Punjab and then it comes back to PoK. The rates are 6 to 7 times higher. So the people of PoK are feeling that they are considered as second-class citizens and they don't want to now remain with Pakistan. And that's what's happening. That's why in Muzaffarabad, Mirpur, Jhangar, Kotli, Bagh, Dadrial, Pakistan phones people are on the streets. There is a roadblock now, and now Pakistan is using force against them. The Frontier Corps has been brought in. What I could make out from my sources is that they have used live rounds also against the people in PoK. Because Pakistan can use anything. You remember in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, they have used basically attack hectors also. They have used firing, they have used artillery on their own people. So they don't understand human rights violation in any way. And they present a very different picture of their own in UNGA by their Shehbaz Sharif. So as far as PoK is concerned, this is totally gone from their hands. The way people are now revolting against Pakistan, it can be seen today. There is an internet block where people cannot move. but then people are still coming out. They are saying, "ये जो दहशतगर्दी है, इसके पीछे वर्दी है." So that's what they are saying. That the people, the forces which are there, the army people which are there in Pakistan, they are extension of terrorists, and that is what is happening as on today. But to make it look like the whole Pakistan is in turmoil, there is a civil war situation which is prevailing. The time is not far off when Pakistan will be divided into 4 parts. One, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan, Sindh, and Punjab, and PoK and Gilgit Pakistan, which is rightfully a part of India, will come back to India in time to come.
Yes, and this is something that several politicians in India have said, that it is such is the time that people of PoK will themselves want to segregate from Pakistan and come back to India. India will not have to do anything for that. We've got Major General Dr. Rajan Kochar also joining us. Sir, we were just talking about how people are upset with the men in uniform in their country. Pak Army has been bombing its own people. Pak Police has been apparently firing live rounds on the protesters. In fact, the latest we are getting is that 2 police personnel have in fact been caught by the civilians who were protesting in the Kohala area. What do you make of these developments?
You see, what is happening in Pakistan is, especially in these areas where the development has not taken place, like PoK, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan, Waziristan, especially these areas, they are genuine grievances of the people there. So this system of governance in Pakistan is not delivering to that, because they are only catering to Punjab and Sindh areas in particular. And we have seen it is this malice is not happening all of a sudden. This has been a progressive neglect of the people. And when you carry out progressive neglect of the people, you can go back into history, and you will come to know that these large-scale insurgency movements get started. We are seeing this in Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and now in the last 1 or 2 years, what I am observing is that the frequency of protests in Pak-occupied Jammu and Kashmir has increased. And then you have Draculan laws, like Pakistan has an anti-terrorist law in Balochistan, which you can imprison a person for 3 months without a charge sheet, without an FIR, and no judicial review. So if you have these kind of measures in place, there is going to be a large-scale resentment in Pakistan. It is from democracy to anarchy. That is what we are actually seeing happening in Pakistan. And in the times to come, a few days back, I think our defense minister also made a statement that we may not have to do anything, and PoK, but the people itself will demand to be merged with India. That may prove to be a reality in a couple of years from now.
Right. Thank you, sir, for joining us with those insights. RSN Singh is also on the broadcast with us. RSN Singh, now, one really wonders if Shahbaz Sharif really has the time to look at the angst of people that is playing out on the streets, because he pretty much seems to be busy between watching Indian cricket team annihilating their cricket team and angsting about that, and when he finds time from that, he is busy wooing Donald Trump.
No, you see those visuals, he showing, displaying before Trump a box of critical minerals like monazite, etc. Just as, like a shopkeeper who has gone to sell his products. Now, first message that he gives to the world, and particularly the Pakistanis, that Pakistan is up for sale. And who are these two people? Shahbaz Sharif from Punjab, the army chief from Punjab. They have decided to sell the entire mineral resources, to, the United States of America. So this is the larger message, and that is why. Then where do the Pashtuns fit in? Where do the Baluchis fit in? And where does the people of PoK fit in? After all, you created this country in the name of Islam. So you have the Prime Minister, a Punjabi, and you have a army chief who has been elevated to the rank of Field Marshal of Punjabi, and together two Punjabis have decided to, put Pakistan on sale. So this is the larger message, and this larger message is not lost out to anybody.
Except for perhaps the leadership of Pakistan, because they are deliberately trying to turn away from the voices of these people who are out on the streets in thousands right now across Pakistan and Pak-occupied Kashmir. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on this broadcast. So we take a very quick break. All the latest updates on the other side.